In the words of a World War II veteran, when you're faced with a challenge, look it straight in the eye and give it a wink. And that's exactly what these brave souls did at the outbreak of the Second Great War. The world changed overnight. The once familiar and peaceful landscapes transformed into battlegrounds. But as the dawn of war approached, these soldiers, ordinary men and women, embraced the extraordinary with a tenacity that was nothing short of inspiring. They were thrust into a conflict that spanned the globe, a war unlike any they had ever known, but they didn't cower. They didn't run. They looked the challenge straight in the eye and gave it a wink. It was a wink of determination, a wink of defiance, a wink that said, "We are ready." Stoicism became their armor, their shield against the horrors of war. They faced adversity with unwavering courage, holding steadfast in the storm that was to come. They knew the road ahead was treacherous, filled with uncertainty and danger. But they walked it nonetheless, their spirits unbroken, their resolve unshaken. Their courage was not born from the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. They were scared, yes, but they were brave. And in their bravery they found resilience. They found strength. They found hope. Every soldier carried with them a story of human spirit, a spirit that refused to be crushed, a spirit that soared even in the darkest of times. They carried these stories into the battlefield, etching them into the annals of history with their acts of valor. These were the soldiers of World War II. They were not just fighting for their countries or their families. They were fighting for humanity, for a better tomorrow. They stood at the edge of a precipice, staring into the abyss, but they did not falter. They did not waver. As the war began, the soldiers held on to hope, courage, and determination despite the uncertainty that lay ahead. Another veteran once said, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." The heat of battle. A time when the air crackles with intensity, when the ground beneath your feet feels as though it could crumble at any moment. It's a time of fear, of uncertainty, but most importantly, it's a time of courage and bravery. Imagine the soldiers, our heroes, standing on the front lines, their hearts pound in their chests like war drums, their breaths hitching in their throats as they stare down the adversary. They're not devoid of fear. No, they're acutely aware of it. They feel it in their bones, in their souls, in the very fabric of their being. But it's not the fear that defines them. It's their response to it. They stare fear in the face and they don't back down. They don't crumble. Instead, they rise. They rise because they understand that courage isn't about being fearless. It's about standing strong even when your legs feel like they might buckle beneath you. It's about pushing forward even when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to turn back. These soldiers, they knew the cost. They knew the danger. But they also knew the value of freedom, the importance of standing up for what's right. They knew that sometimes you have to walk into the storm to reach the calm on the other side. They carried with them a powerful human will to survive, a will that outshone even the brightest of bombs. They held on to hope, onto faith, onto the belief that they could and would overcome. This is the essence of bravery. This is the spirit of a soldier in the heat of battle. It's not about the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it, to face it head on and say, "I am stronger, I am braver, I will not be defeated." Even in the face of fear, these brave soldiers triumphed, their courage shining through the darkness of war. Reflecting on the end of the war, a veteran said, "War does not determine who is right, only who is left." As the final battles of the war unfolded, the world held its breath. Amid the chaos and devastation, there was a palpable sense of relief, a glimmer of hope that the end was near. But this did not come without its fair share of sorrow. The cost of war is not measured solely in the territory gained or lost, but in the irreplaceable human lives that are forever altered or extinguished. The end of the war was not a moment of victory, but a sigh of relief. It was the moment when soldiers could finally lay down their arms, close their weary eyes, and dream of home without the haunting specter of war looming over them. It was the moment when families could begin to mend, communities could start to rebuild, and nations could commence the long and arduous journey towards healing. Yet even in the face of such devastation, wisdom emerged from the ashes. The veterans, bearing the scars of battle, became the bearers of invaluable wisdom. They learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. They discovered that strength is not just about physical might, but also about the spirit's resilience. They understood that peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of justice, the prevalence of understanding, and the abundance of love. These lessons, harshly won on the battlefields, became the guiding light for the survivors. They carried with them the wisdom that war does not glorify, but rather reveals the darkest corners of our humanity. They understood that the true cost of conflict is not counted in bullets and bombs, but in the lives lost, the dreams shattered, and the innocence forever destroyed. As the war ended, the surviving soldiers carried with them not only the scars of battle, but also invaluable wisdom and a profound understanding of the cost of conflict. In retrospect, a veteran wisely stated, "The real heroes are the ones who didn't come back." These words resonate in the aftermath of any war, echoing the true cost that is often overlooked, the price paid in lives. The end of World War II did not just signify a geopolitical shift, but an emotional upheaval for those who survived, forever marked by the scars of battle. They carried with them the memory of their fallen comrades, those brave souls who gave their today for our tomorrow. These are the real heroes whose names, though may not be etched in golden letters in history books, are forever inscribed in the hearts of those they left behind. They paid the ultimate price, and it is our duty to honor their sacrifice, to remember them, to learn from them. In the end, it is the memory of those who didn't return that reminds us of the true cost of war and the precious value of peace.